Oh, about a ghost making food. That wasn't bad. It was better than AI. Hello, everyone. Good morning. This is a new segment on Destination Spooky. It's a cooking show so that I could kind of do a recap of the week and whatnot. Excuse me. Sorry, my breakfast is a gritty protein bar and whatever cheap energy drink I can get at Costco. Thank you, The Rock. These are These used to retail for like $25. You can get an 18 pack for $10 now. Anyway, it's going to ruin my heart and pancreas. But hello Stevie. And again, good morning. Yeah, I wanted to add a cooking segment and I realized that for a 5-minute clip, I'm going to have to do like 45 minutes of prep work as I do that. So I figured, well, we could use this opportunity to talk about something. I very rarely, if ever, uh, do gossip content at all. And would be more of a recap, I guess recap content. And I've never done it on a live. Usually I have to be doing something. So let's get started. Alright, Dudley, how's our garlic? Looks pretty good. Alright, we're going to saute our aromas. First, I blocked my path. This is on a tripod, sorry. I blocked my path to my cookware. I woke up, by the way, not more than 30 minutes ago. So I pretty much sound like I sound for that reason. This is not good. I might use that, but I probably won't. There we go. The big one. Copper pans, because I believe in pseudoscience. There we are. Okay. So this part is sauteing the aromas. And while we're doing this, I wanted to talk about a news article I saw on nri.news, which I believe is North Rhode Island. So we're going to do that. Let me get everything ready. You'll see me and hear me operating in the background. I got my old laptop out, which I can't find the charger for, which is bad, but it doesn't have to be a problem right this second. It's mostly charged. So, get our ingredients. By the way, we're using ground turkey for this. You could use any ground. I'm going to post the recipe in the description, but you can use ground beef. You can use vegetarian proteins. You can use, hell, I think you can use fish. We're making chili this morning, by the way. Crock-pot chili. So we got the ground turkey. Let me see here. Let's prep our pan too. And I promise we'll be talking about ham cooking spray. Nothing better. Hello everyone. Wow. We got famous in a minute. Welcome to a cooking show with a ghost, where we're going to talk about some ghostly stuff as well as saute some onions. And speaking of that, we got to saute onions. So I got onions. I actually hate chopping onions on account of the fact that, like, it's not the tears. I will start to cry cutting onions. We all do. That old legend is true. But it's also a time-consuming process. Hello! I have the power. It's a time-consuming process, so I got this little guy. It's this auto like slap chop thingy, and you can just put the vegetable in there, and it cuts it. So I'll show you how to do that, and later in the description I'm going to leave Amazon links. I do make a commission off that. It's like 3 to 5%. Hi Lilith. Yeah, see? And we're going to see this guy in action, but That's where our onions are gonna go in a second. Cut those real quick. Getting some gloves on was the point I was getting to. So, I don't like having the stink of our aroma vegetables on my hands throughout the day. So I'm gonna try. You can see my charging cable. I forgot to charge my phone. So there's that. I also chose part of my utensil drawer. But well, thank you, YouTube live support. I didn't know I outed myself to YouTube. But I guess I did. At some point. Yes, I am on the rainbow flag. I am asexual. That's a weird way to come out again for the 5th or 6th time. I'll get a kick out of that later. Sean, if you go to watch this later, YouTube outed me on a cooking show with a ghost plushie. God. It's not even June. We're doing that. Yes, folks, this is an LGBTQIA plus friendly space, as your host is LGBTQIA. I'll let you decide which one, if you're going to harass me with that or not. So, we are cutting an onion, just so we're aware. This is our, hi YouTube live support. This is our aroma, as they're called. One of them, an onion. You want to have, in my experience, you want to have onions in chili. Someone I know who hates onions even agrees to a degree that the onions have to go in the chili. So we get this little skin off, and I swear we're going to get to the current events pretty soon, but like I did no prep work for this. By the way, I'm cheating here. This is not the right way to do an onion. I might even throw this away because it's depressing. Not the onion. The onion is perfectly fine, but that sliver. Okay. All the peel is off. So, clean that up real quick. Now, we've already greased up the pan. Well, thank you, YouTube live support. I appreciate that. I didn't know. Are you a real YouTube live support account? Or, like, what's happening? I have literally never gotten a super chat from anyone, let alone YouTube live support. That's very strange. I can't check my internet because I'm using my phone, but I guess thank you. That's weird. It's appreciated but weird. So we're gonna cut that. All right, and we use a little slap chop. It's a trap. It seems like a trap. Also, yeah, it is a trap. Folks, I don't have $600, it's just saying that. Like, is YouTube live support hacked? Okay, yes, the onion. Well, that's eventful this morning. Yeah, God. Fantastic. What a day. So let me cut this more time, because the cutting area is not great. And there we go. I knocked off Dudley's chef's hat that doesn't fit, but we have onions. And we're going to continue this. So we've got the onions cut a little bit. We're gonna do more. There we go. All right. Now we got onions. You're right, Gamer Kitty. That was not okay. They do. Yeah, they do appear hacked, that account. Hold on a second. Ah, man. Okay. There we go. And sorry, folks, but, I gotta do that real quick. There. I'm sorry. Now, KS, that's very fair. Good day. If you don't like ground turkey, then, you can absolutely use ground beef. I'm getting off ground beef. I'm old as dirt. And ground turkey works just as well in my experience. It sort of is, if he's real, then he's gone. Like, he's not real because I don't have $600 in the, yeah, thank you, YouTube system notification. That's fun. It's, getting, weirdly... Hold on a minute. There we go. Yeah. Well, it's a different one, dude. It's a different, like, spam bot. Glory to the CCP. Yeah, thank you. It is. So, we have our onions cut at least. But yes, glory to the communist, I don't even know what CC's, let's see. There we go. Yeah, I assume it's gonna continue. Alright. So, with that out of the way, let's cook and saute. So, onions in the pan. Let's put Dudley's hat back on. And we're going to let these saute for about 5 minutes. There we go. Oof. Saute the onions, KS. We're going to saute the onions for about 4 or so minutes. In the meantime, we're doing our garlic while we prep our ground beef. Oof. So, got a few cloves of garlic here. Throw these slivers out. We're gonna add more. No, we're not gonna add more onions to the chili. But we are gonna cut some garlic. Now, normally you want to use a different blade. I will not be. We don't have the time to wash. There we go. And Got a little bit of clove of garlic there. Actually, I forgot. Garlic cloves are easier. I'm gonna just slice these, kinda. Dice them a little bit. You can hear the onions sauteing in the background. And we're going to cut these up a little bit. Leave those over here on the cutting board. All right. There we go. Cut that up. Nice and fine. I might smash them a little bit. There we are. Alright. Got a couple of cloves of garlic for flavor and smell. And we're doing our saute. You can hear that in the background. Get a listen. Okay. So we're going to give that another second. I think if I have the power, give that another listen. And then we're going to add our garlic, which is now on the cutting board. And then after that, that goes into the crock pot. And I can say crock pot, it's the crock pot brand crock pot. We're not doing 5 hours of crock pot work, but that is that. So I'll leave that over here for right now. Okay. So I can smell the aromas. It's tearing me up. Let's add some garlic. Give that another minute. And we're sauteing over medium heat. Alright. Now, we're going to add our aromas right into the pot. Never get over that crying jaggy. Ooh, sorry, it is early in the morning. That little pop. Okay. Alright, and in we go. Try to get out as much as I can. Now we're going to do the ground turkey. And there are a few things I use to give that turkey, which can come out very plain, excuse me, at like 99% fat free. So I like, this is 85-15, which I was told was better for chili, and I'm in agreement. And it's because you want to kind of dress the fat. So take that out. We're going to get that in a bowl. The smell is overpowering as their onion. That's okay. I have a portable range hood that I got. again, all these will be linked below. It takes some of the smell away. Oof. There we go. Add a QA sticker, weird looking food. I guess that's for interaction. Alright. I guess that did that. But, I digress. We got some prep work to do. So, I'm working that in a bowl off to the side. And we are going to dress up the meat. Now, what I like to use, very simple. And when this prints again, I'm going to put the recipe online. But I got a Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire. We're gonna dress that up in that. And we've got thyme, which we're going to use. Thyme. So, and we put that in the bowl. There we go. Suddenly it's a lot more appetizing. Okay. So off we go into the saute pot. And if you'll pardon me, listen to that sizzle. I am going to take some B-roll on a different boat. Okay, and the video's up. So, there we go. Just a little bit of B-roll. And I'm going to step in real quick, try to get Dudley's chef's hat back on. There we go. So the chef's hat is too small. And the apron is too big. And that's totally me. But I ordered them off of Etsy sight unseen. And now we're just chopping up the ground beef. So we have a news article while we're doing this, because this is going to take the longest to get in the pot. And there is a preliminary hearing underway regarding sale of the Conjuring House in Burrillville, Rhode Island, Rhode Island, in the New England area. The famous Conjuring House, the Perrin Farmhouse, the Burrillville Farmhouse, depending on whose channel you're watching. And lawyers released statements, and I think we should just go off the legal statements. There we go. Sorry, just getting more B-roll. Gotta film garlic for 15 seconds. And I wanted to go over those statements. And I have my laptop. No, you don't see it. I have my laptop over in the corner. I cannot find the laptop charger. So, that's typically me. But that's okay. I'm gonna bring this up. I'm gonna move this over here. I want to put some of this on the screen. Here we go. Alright. Sorry, I've got to cut my beef up. Now, after this is done, we're going to drain most of the fat and use a little bit of the fat dressing for flavor. Alright. There we go. Alright, and this is NRI Now. And here's what they say. Sorry, it's the inbox thing. Okay. And I quote, "It's a case that includes all the sordid ingredients of a made-for-TV movie. From ghosts and celebrities to decidedly odd behavior and intervention from a distant, estranged relative. It's all playing out in Rhode Island's Superior Court as a lawsuit over Burrillville's most famous haunted attraction moves forward. The suit, filed in December by Elizabeth Greenhall of Utah, the older sister of Jacqueline Nunez, seeks to block the sale of the Round Top Road property to the famed personality Jason Hawes." That's an ad. So, Nunez, who purchased the 300-year-old farmhouse for $1.5 million in 2022, and I'm gonna take the screen back. In 2022, was denied a business license to operate as a tourist attraction last November, following legal and other troubles in town. House has sat vacant since and was headed to foreclosure sale this fall before Summit & Stone, an LLC started by popular YouTube content creator Elton Casti, purchased the underlying mortgage. Last month it was revealed that Nunez, who once offered tours and overnight stays at the house, made famous by the 2013 horror blockbuster under business name Balefire LLC, had also entered an agreement in October to sell the property to Hawes, the star of Sci-Fi's Ghost Hunters, for $1.3 million. Greenhall filed a temporary restraining order in Rhode Island Superior Court to halt the sale in December, stating that Nunez was legally incompetent and not of sound mind when she signed the agreement. Hawes, through his attorney Nicole Labonte. So here we're getting into the meat of it. The objection. That which really sparked this dispute is the so-called interested party known as Summit & Stone LLC, the objection notes. Although the plaintiff oddly has recently come out of the proverbial woodwork to suddenly become involved in this matter in commencing this lawsuit, the dispute concerning the purchase and sale of the property to Hawes actually first arose when Elton Casti and Matt Rife, after purchasing Ed and Lorraine Warren's Occult Museum in Monroe, Connecticut, which they announced publicly in or about April 2025, then apparently desperately wanted to purchase the property in Rhode Island, given that it is the Conjuring Home. That's in quotes, I think they meant Conjuring House. That is also known for the Warrens' paranormal investigations. The filing states that Casti formed the LLC in September for the specific purpose of buying the Burrillville property. Apparently, after discovering the property's owner, Balefire, had been in foreclosure and executed the P&S agreement with someone else, purchase and sale, and that someone else being Hawes, Casti, Rife, and the business entity under which they were acting, Summit & Stone, decided to try and obtain the property in another way. According to Hawes, A few days after he executed the purchase and sales agreement, Cassidy offered him $150,000 for proof of who the current lender was, which he declined. Another Rhode Island YouTuber named, I'm going to leave that out, but runs the podcast Haunted Homies, who has ties to Rife and Cassidy. Well, no, he was included on a podcast, Haunted Homies. Was witnessed no less than 3 times the morning of November 15th, 2025 at Nunez's home after notifying a friend that he was going there to offer her $4 million to cancel the P&S. So I want to start there. The Conjuring House, let me check my meat. So the Conjuring House, its previous owners bought it way back when, after the Conjuring movie, but before the sale to Jackie. They bought it for $420,000, if I'm remembering off the top of my head correctly. When the Conjuring House went up for sale in 2021, at the time the high bidder was Lance Zoll at $1.2 million. Lance Zoll runs U.S. Ghost Adventures, National Ghost Tour Company. At the last moment, and I don't have this stuff on me, I'm not looking at it, but at the last moment, Jackie swoops in. Jackie swoops in and offers 1.5, $300,000 over the high bid. Of course they took that, but thank you, Stevie. I think you missed all the excitement earlier when I was outed by a fake YouTube account as both asexual and a communist. Those are true. Sorry, comrades, but where was I? Oh yeah. So she offered it. She bought it. She began to charge ridiculous investigation rates, including ridiculous rules. I forget how many people you got. I want to say it was like 6, but it was like $1,800. $1,500 to $1,800. And again, these are all just off the top of my head. Now, by the way, we're getting there. It doesn't look like turkey anymore, mostly. But we're getting there. So, yeah, I wonder who could have done that, Stevie. But thank you for your support. So, things went awry very quickly. Jackie didn't handle criticism well. There was an issue with other paranormal personalities that I'm not going to get into. I never really have, and I never really will. There is a myriad of content out there debunking a lot and just going over this stuff. It has caused now wars. So, Jackie loses her business license because of erratic behavior. That part's true. Mainly that when she had overnights, she would watch the cameras intently. And she would accuse people who were pulling up to the property to ghost hunt. Like they rented the property. She would accuse them of being Jason Paws. And him sending a hitman. And this was all a big thing on like Facebook. She also got a DUI, very public, and she has outstanding warrants in Rhode Island. That's why the house is abandoned. She can't go back to it. So with that, unable to do anything with the house, the property went into foreclosure. And that's where we are now. It was scheduled for auction October 31st. Cute little pun by the auctioneer. And check out how quickly that's browning. Yeah, it's not pink anymore. By the auctioneer. And the auction was canceled because someone bought the debt, which is a thing you can do. And everyone was like, well, who bought the debt? Complaining that for buying the house. No, you just bought a banknote from a bank. Turned out it was Elton. And this would put a cloud on the title. I'm using my very limited real estate experience to go over that. And by the way, I think I'm going to season a little bit more. Add some Worcestershire sauce to this. Hang on. There we go. Woo! There we go. Just to remind it who's boss. So all this happens, and Jason runs his Save the Conjuring House GoFundMe. Full disclosure, I donated to that GoFundMe. And it's getting a lot up there, and he finds a bunch of, and this is fully transparent, he had talked about it in videos, the monster. Shout out to you, Jason Hawes. He found private investors who wanted to, as he called them, angel investors who wanted to go in on the property. Always keeping people updated. And he promised people's money back. So now we're stuck here. All of a sudden this lawsuit does come out of the woodwork, in my opinion. And it's now currently, there are preliminary hearings, and only preliminary hearings. Apparently, according to this article, now it's time for me to get that back up, and we're going to drain the fat in a minute. Pardon me. Let's get down the road here. Hawes says that Nunez signed the agreement to sell the home. And there's a woman with power of attorney, by the way. So there's a lot going on here. But the power of attorney is when literally you give a random average citizen the right to agency, to represent you as an agent in certain matters outlined in a POA contract. And that's all it is. Like an attorney you have to give power of attorney to. I've had to do that. But it's to give agency to them so they can speak on your behalf in certain matters, e.g. selling a house. In a state you can no longer go back without getting arrested. Alright, we're just about done with the beef. So that's above board to me. But also, apparently Jackie had signed this herself according to the legal team, according to this article. So to me, it's basically let the courts sort it out, but no one's getting into that house for a while now. All this is going to be tied up. There we go. And we're going to drain the fat and do something very clever. Now I have to get something out here real quick. Pardon me. Keep the talent in the shot. Keep the talent in the shot. There we go. Now, we're going to strain the beef. Alright, you can hear that sizzle. But, again, this is clever. We strain the beef, but we let a little bit drip into the pan, as you can see. We're going to dress the meat with the fat. So we put it back on the stove, and we put the beef back in there. And we just want to dress that beef, and then into the crock pot. No, I'm no longer looking at the crock pot. There we go. Put that right there. And into the crock pot we go. But also I wanted to go over that $4 million thing, because that's an allegation that's official, at least through Jason's representatives. Like, the house was already overpaid for last time, and I could see someone going to the house and saying, "Hey Jackie, we'll give you $4 million for it." And that's just words. Was there a quote? Was it signed? Etc., etc. Like, do you have a paper trail of that $4 million offer? Is there proof that the guy went there? I'm hoping so, based on the allegation. And we're going to dress up our meat in a minute. But What's more, was there proof of the quote? That's what I'm wondering. Okay, we got chili powder, paprika, and cumin. There's a secret ingredient here. Well, there's two now. We're going to use Mrs. Dash. That's not the secret ingredient. I don't use salt all that much. And we're going to put some pepper in there. Give it a little kick. There we go. A little more thyme in there. If we have nothing else, we all have time. Truly, it's the only commodity we all own. We put more time in it. You can never have enough time. There we go. And we got the paprika. And we're trying to not make this too spicy. Make it as spicy as you want to. But we're trying to keep it to where everyone can enjoy it. And there we go. And chili powder. Alright. And we got cumin. And there we are. Now, I'm gonna get the two secret ingredients. By the way, Stevie, you're still here. You know I'm a communist, right? Like, for real. I tell all my friends all sorts of stuff. So, now for this, I'm actually gonna conclude the live. I left my spices out in the car. Thank you all for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the first inaugural episode of Live from... I'm not a monster because I'm a communist, but thank you. I hope you enjoyed my live where we found out I'm a gay communist. And what a hell of a kickoff. Until again, safe travels, traveler.